to your last full week of science. So you have finished your building and testing things unit. So we are going to do a quick wrap up of the scientific method. And the best way, we started off talking about the scientific method this year, so it seems fitting that we finish with the scientific method. And the best way to learn about the scientific method is to do some experiments. So this week in science, you will be choosing some different experiments to try out at home. Now, there are 3 levels for you to choose from. You can choose however many experiments you want to do, but remember that level 1 is 2 experiments. So in your Class Dojo this week, there will be 2 Class Dojo activities for science. It'll just be experiment 1, experiment 2 for you to complete. You have to complete at least 2. If you want to complete more than 2, please go right ahead. Those will be bonus points for you to do. So you can do, so remember, level 1 is just completing 2 experiments. Level 2 is completing 3 experiments. And then level 3 is completing 4 or more experiments. Okay? So as you are doing your experiments, you do not have to write anything down this week. We're giving your little hands a break. You've done enough writing. So you need to think about what you're actually learning about, and I'll show you some examples. Okay, now when you're doing your video, because you have to do your experiment as a video, you are going to you're going to start off by sharing your hypothesis. So you're going to say what you think will happen with the experiments, okay? And that's because you've done some research, maybe you've watched some videos about it. So you're going to tell us what you think will happen. That's your hypothesis. Then you're going to talk us through your experiment, which is you're conducting your experiments. And then you're going to draw your conclusion and share your results with us. So that is whether or not you got your hypothesis correct. So maybe you say, I was right because this happened, or I was wrong because this didn't happen, okay? So these 4 parts here are the most important ones to share with us in your video, okay? You don't really have to worry about making an observation, and the question is fine. We'll figure out what the question is with your hypothesis, okay? So please make sure you talk through with us what you think will happen, how to do your experiments, like the steps you're following, and then the conclusion of your experiment. So share with us your results. So here are your choices. Now there are 12 choices for you to choose from. In case you don't like my choices, or maybe you don't have space or some of the materials for my choices, you have 3 experiment choices that are your own. So if you wanted to do 3 experiments, all your own, that is fine, and then you can do one of mine. So you have to choose, remember, at least 2 experiments from this list, and they can both be the ones that you choose from your own choice, okay? So if you click on the links, obviously not in the video, but if you click on the links in the, I'll go back in, go back to the page, there we go. So if you click on these links in your PDF document, it will take you to the website that shows how to do the experiment. So this one is Orange Fizz. So it tells you the instructions, it tells you the materials you need, it tells you what happens in the experiment, and it gives you a video of the experiment which you can watch and play, okay? For this one, again, if you just click the links, it'll take you to the website directly, and you can have a look through and see, okay, maybe I want to try that. Yeah, I have water, I have a mug, I have 5 cups, I have a tablespoon, I have a clear glass, I might have a dropper. Okay, so those are things that you need to think about for your experiment. Obviously, if you don't have something, then you probably can't use it. So your first job will be to go through and choose which 2 experiments you want to do, or if you want to do more experiments, that's fine as well, okay? And remember that you can also choose your own. So on the next slide, there are a few good websites here. And if you click on those, again, on the PDF, it'll take you to some more links, and you can choose There's a whole range of choices for different things that you can do for your experiment if you don't like my choices, which is fine. Okay, I tried to keep things that you could do inside your house because I know not everyone has a garden or a balcony. So think about the space that you need. Like for example, if you're going to put Mentos in Diet Coke, remember you need to go to a store for that. Get the materials. So I've tried to also kind of think about the things that you already have at your house. So that's why I've chosen those experiments, okay? So like I said, you need to choose at least 2 experiments from this board. The 2 can be your own experiments, and if you want to do more research, those are 3 good websites that have lots of choices for you to complete, okay? But you can Google and choose others if you so wish. Please make sure that some of the experiments you need to do with mom or dad. There was one really cool one that had, you made like a snake out of sugar and sand, and that looked so cool. But again, you need a lot of space and you really need mom or dad's help. So there are some really cool experiments that you can do. So make sure that you do check with mom and dad before you do any of your experiments, okay? So you need to do 2. And you need to take a video, like I said at the start, of each experiment that you do. So you need to tell us what you think will happen before you do the experiment, which is your hypothesis, and then tell us if you were right or wrong at the end, which is your conclusion. You also need to tell us what material you used and the steps in your experiment. So you're going to do a little mini lesson for us about your experiments, okay? It doesn't have to be a super long video. It can be really quick. But I want you to do a run through of your experiment for your teachers to see. And that's it, okay? So your experiments are due on Sunday, June 28th. That gives you almost a week, okay? Since today is Monday, you have almost a week to do it. And that's it. Have fun, and I cannot wait to see how you're experimenting turns out.